A High-Pitched Cry for Help by Problematic_Laura on AO3. Chapter 4 From a Distance. It started slowly. Izuku was a bit scared of hurting anyone, and, to be honest, he was a bit scared of people in general. Not that you could blame him for it. He thought he was being really sneaky about it, and it was a little adorable watching him look at the hero from as far as possible, being as smart as he was for his age, and having so much time in his hands too. He was able to figure out his patrol route. A portion of it, at least. And the days and time he was on it. 3 days a week, he could see the hero if he went to a specific spot right in between the dumpster where he got most of his food and his home. The hero seemed to have taken a liking to one of the buildings near the convenience store, and was usually seen taking a break and munching on some type of food that came in bright-colored packages. Izuku would climb the side stair of the building to get to the top and watch the exact view the hero saw right after he left. Eraserhead watched from a distance, a small kid going to the exact same place and sitting in the exact same spot where he was. It was a mixture of confusion and curiosity, if not a bit of worry too. What was a kid so small doing outside so late at night? Why was no one watching him? And why did it try to sneak a view of the pro-hero? He made sure to stay near until the kid went back down the side of the building. It wasn't that tall, but very dangerous nonetheless. He also followed the kid back home, just once to make sure he wasn't just going around. From far away, it was odd, but nothing more. He almost always saw the kid munching something and then going back to the same road. He appeared to have a home just fine, and the lights seemed to always be on when he got there. Well, maybe he followed him twice. Maybe a night trip for a snack? It made sense. He knew there was a gas station very close to where they were. It just wasn't really good to eat that late, even if he does so himself. It didn't sit right with him. Why did he go out to eat? And why did the kid want to watch him? He wasn't really eye-catching, especially for little kids, that only saw a man jumping in the darkness dressed like a homeless person. This kid wanted something? One night, he decided to go a few minutes early, at the recommendation of his husband, just to see the child's reaction to a change in schedule. However, the little one was already out and about. He watched him appear from the direction of the store, a packet of some type of candy in his hands. Surprisingly enough, the kid ate half of it, left it on the side of the building, and climbed on top, taking something out of his pocket and leaving it there before climbing back down and retrieving the candy from the floor, and running away. Did no one tell him not to eat things off the floor? Primarily from the streets, too. He waited until the time was right to not raise any suspicion, and went to the same spot, taking his jelly pouch out. There it was, behind a small rock, as to not let the paper fly away, was neatly folded with paper. A note, perhaps. A drawing of him. Aizawa had to fight the urge to look in the direction where he knew the kid was watching from. Instead, he watched closely with just a black crayon. The kid managed to draw an identifiable image of him in his hero uniform. The lack of color was extra funny because there were arrows pointing at the specks that read yellow, and another one pointing to his head saying red, probably meaning his eyes. Hisashi would love it. He debated between taking it and sighing and leaving it there. It was too much to think that the kid would know what hero he was just from kind of stalking him. But he wanted to assert some kind of communication. That way they could both acknowledge their presence, and maybe could talk about what the kid had to say. At the end, he decided to take the drawing, mostly for his husband to see, and leave one of his jelly pouches. Not that he had anything on him to write with, or something more kid-friendly. The kid liked to eat at night. He would probably like it too. He left, watching from an appropriate distance while the child picked up the jelly. Funny enough, he didn't seem to know what it was, and tried opening it and putting a bit in his hands, like some kind of hand cream, maybe. It wasn't until he smelled it that he tried dumping it in his mouth. Eraserhead could feel a slight smile coming. It made sense if he couldn't read. It was really dark, and maybe he didn't know many of the Japanese characters on the package. He was probably, what, 4? 5 tops? The way home was simple and a bit earlier than he should, too. As soon as he stepped foot into the house, he could sense the smell of bitter coffee. His husband really was the best. The best out of them with kids, too. He would know what to do. I'm home. Welcome home, Joe. He walked to the kitchen and kissed him on the cheek, already taking the cup of coffee from his hands and trying to pull the drawing out with another. Any news on your little fan? The blonde laughed at his own lame joke. That was underground, and having fans sounded like an actual nightmare. Oh, you're gonna love this. He proceeded to give him the now wrinkled paper without folding it. He left it for me to find where I always sit. Excited, the most famous of the two took it and unfolded it, a tiny squeak escaping from his lips. Oh my god, that's adorable! He immediately shut up at the same time his quirk was erased. Sorry, it's just that it is so cute, Sho. He continued to do a cute little dance and then hang the gift in their fridge with the help of a cat magnet. What did you say? Did you get his name? Nothing, really. He just left it on the building before I got there. He bit his lip, thinking. He was watching, though, and I left him a jelly pouch. A jelly pouch? For a kid in development? Great! The eye roll was a clear sign of sarcasm. Just talk to him. He probably is a sweetheart. There is something that's bugging me. He heard a, and sipped his coffee. He drew me with red eyes, right? Does that mean he saw me in action? Hisashi paused for a second, slowly walking towards the master room. Aizawa followed suit. Maybe. Ayang couldn't hide the worry expression on his face. The options are you help someone he knows and he told him, or he'd seen you fight. Either way, I don't like the picture that little listener is painting, Sho. You should try to get a name at least, just to check the public records. The pro hero sighed and changed into more comfortable clothing. He knew his husband was right, but at the same time, it was illogical. There weren't any indicators of the kid being in utter danger, and he couldn't just go off with the night trips to get junk food. As far as he was concerned, the kid could just be sneaking out to buy something out of reach, or their parents could work in the convenience store. He had always been a logical man, and logic dictated that if the child did not approach him, he should not chase after it. But he just couldn't let go of his gut feeling. The kid won't even make direct eye contact. How am I supposed to get him to talk, let alone tell me his name? More junk food? I really don't know. Most of the time kids approach me first. Maybe try looking at him to begin with. He may be scared of you. Next time, leave a note. Some stickers, too. He didn't say anything back, just gave a short kiss, and went straight to the bathroom to wash his teeth. He was too tired to shower. He had a point. If he didn't acknowledge the kid at all, it would never be up to him if the small greenette talked to him. Showing something might be a right option for now. Stickers? Kids like that. Some weird snack, maybe to catch his attention. He didn't seem to know what the jelly pouch was, so he could play around with something similar. Kids couldn't be that hard to understand, he hoped. The next time he was due to that patrol area, he made sure to have some sticky notes, a pencil, and some All Might stickers. He hated it, but they were the top sellers, apparently. A thank you note was waiting for him, next to another drawing, this time of Best Genus. Interesting choice. Was this going to be some sort of collection of him? He didn't mind. Kids' drawings added a cute aspect to his patrols. Maybe he could ask for a present mic drawing for next time? Still, no eye contact, though. So, he did. He left a thank you note for the drawing, and a few All Might stickers, next to his present mic request. He had to admit, he felt kind of funny when waiting for the next drawing. Maybe he didn't hate kids that much anymore. Or maybe he did, but he would make an exception for this one. This is so cute. This is so cute. They're so cute. This is so adorable. Oh, this chapter made me happy. I like this chapter. This chapter doesn't make me want to cry. I'm crying. No, God. No. What? I'm crying because it's... Okay. Ooh, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Because Izuku's what? 6? 7? But he looks like 4 or 5. So that only means that he's so malnourished that he looks so young. And... Ooh, okay, we're breathing. We're breathing. Ooh. Okay. Smiles. Smiles. We're breathing. I'm breathing. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. God damn it. I'm gonna cry. Give me a second. I think the drawing was really cute, and knowing that he left an All Might sticker, Izuku's probably gonna be super, super excited. He's probably gonna be like, oh, yay, I love it, because, like, All Might was his favorite, and can the next chapter be where they adopt him? I know it's not gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen probably in chapter 10. I hope it happens in chapter 10, and it's not like one of those, like, it happens at the very fucking end. I hope not. I've never seen one where it happens at the end. It normally happens pretty early on, like in the first 10 chapters. Like, the latest I've ever seen it is chapter 10. Actually, no, I think in, what's it called? Survival, a UA survival guide. I think it was pretty late on. But that one was like a really, really long one. And yeah, no, I think that's the only exception. That's the one exception. Like Aizawa said, Izuku might be the one exception to his, well, not hatred for kids. Because obviously he becomes a teacher. Okay, I feel like he's the type where he's like, yeah, I will babysit a kid. I will not have a own kid. I cannot do that. And then, you know, ends up falling in love with Izuku. It's just like, okay, fine. I like kids. This is my kid. It's my son right here. My son. Just his friends. Weren't you the same person who kept saying that they didn't want kids? Shut up, look at my son. My uncle was like that. Not for kids, but for cats. He's just like, I don't want a cat. I like dogs. I like wolves. He has 2 cats now, and constantly thinking about them, constantly talking about them. He was so excited when I told him that I got Storm. Let's just say he gifted Storm a scratching post, and apparently he's gonna start gifting Storm a whole lot of other stuff. So, that's gonna be fun. So, yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say. I think that's all I have to say. I think it's gonna be very cute. What's the chapter? What's the next chapter? How old? Question mark. Oh, that's when he finds out. I also really love Izuku's, no, not Izuku's, Aizawa's POV kind of thing. That was very interesting. But how old? Question mark makes me think that next chapter, Aizawa's gonna find out how old Izuku is, and it's gonna be like, excuse me, how old? What? But this is forming a form of communication with like the sticky notes and the talking. So I love that. I love that. I wonder when they're gonna talk like face to face, not like talk, because obviously Izuku has trauma with that, but like sign language, because I assume Aizawa knows sign language, considering that most of the time Present Mike is deaf, hard of hearing, or just no sign language, or a combination of like, no, not a combination, but like, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. But yeah, as always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.